You like oxygen. Can't get you out my head. You get 20 out of 10.
WEFM, the new fresh sound.
WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
All right, so time right now, SPG, it is 8:08, and we are in our commentary segment with Lyf Compton for today. Lyf?
Yeah. So, for those who may have missed when I had explained the pros and cons of the VAT free, right? You remember, people, just remember, I'm not making this up off the top of my head. I'm not an economist. This is what the economists say. This is what the resource said. This is what the professionals say, right? It's not my thing, right? I just repeating it because I know people can come and eat off my head, right? So it says benefits, right? Shoppers pay less because VAT, often 10 to 20%, is removed. We know this. It makes essential goods like school supplies, electronics, or clothing more affordable. We know this. Help families save money, especially during back to holiday seasons. Them not save no money, because with them save money VAT thing, them they gonna spend them somewhere else. You understand? Which is a boost for the economy, but not a boost for the pocket, really and truly. Right? It encourages people to shop sooner rather than later. Increase foot traffic in malls and online stores, which is good for the business people, because you might go in to buy something else and you might see something else you like and you buy that also. Helps businesses clear all inventory. Higher spending increases business revenue. It can support economic recovery during slow periods, encourages short-term economic activity. That's just something, right? The issues. Government temporarily lose VAT income, which we know. This can affect funding for public services like healthcare, education, and infrastructure. Probably a wide reach, but okay. It says if sales don't increase enough to compensate, the revenue loss may be significant. Revenue, I don't understand that one. If sales don't increase enough to compensate, the revenue loss may be significant. I don't understand that one. I guess our economists might have to. If sales don't increase enough to compensate, the revenue loss may be significant. Maybe they're speaking about after the VAT free day.
Maybe after the sales, if you didn't generate enough, if you didn't generate enough to sustain whatever loss they were going to make from all the discounts. That's
right.
Yeah, how I look at it.
Spending is shifted. Okay, this is the important part. Spending is shifted, not increased, which I agree with 100%. So many consumers simply delay purchases to the VAT free day, which it will be interesting to see what business people say about this, right? This means sales before and after the event may drop. Overall economic growth may not significantly increase. It just shifts. It just shifts timing. So yeah, that was my main point. Like, people glad for it is discounts that they would not normally get, but it's beneficial to the person who got the fridge and the stove and the business person.
Or the persons who went to the supermarket who might have had their eye on a tin of mushroom that they wanted to use for Christmas lunch. Mushroom in fact free. So
Some go ahead.
Somebody sent a WhatsApp here for you, right?
All right, we have a call. Let's take the call.
Let's take the call first, and then we get to the WhatsApp. Hello, good morning.
Oh my.
Hi, Queens, morning.
I'm gonna go back to the lotto thing. Nice Radio did get lotto ads under the last administration, but Doug Defrater said it took him 13 years and he was going to sue the government, and somehow he was able to convince them to give him lotto ads. So he didn't get for the first 13 years. If I was the new government, I would give Star FM the lot. Let them continue with continue with lotto ads. I won't give them the other government ads, but I would give them the lotto ad based on Nice Radio did get lotto ads. That would be my thing on that station. But I agree with them taking away the government ad. In fact, Dougie the Freitas believes Star FM shouldn't get no lotto ads neither. Because he said they are a political station. He said they are the only station that is owned by a political party. Although they have other stations that support different parties, that's the only station that's owned by a political party. So they shouldn't get no government ads, no lottery ads. That's his thing. All right, that's all I gotta say. Bye.
All right,
Bye-bye.
thanks, Chris.
All right. Let me read the WhatsApp for life.
Wait, before I think like.
He said, okay, I didn't, well, the caller said that Dougie said these things, right? So what he mean now is the only station owned by a political party. Dougie the Freitas is NDP incarnate.
But that's the thing. It might be a little bit of a technicality here. Is Nice Radio
I'm not hearing
actually?
you. You hearing me? I'm not hearing you. I'm
hearing you.
Let me go.
Okay.
Let me go.
You go out and come back in, right?
I can't hear you.
Okay. All right. So we'd await Life's return. All right, there we go. Life?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Dougie the Freitas is NDP.
Yeah, but he might be NDP, but is the station an NDP station?
NDP station, come on.
No, but that's the thing. You can look at it as a technicality here. Well, it promotes NDP broadcasting.
That's the only thing it was. Listen, that station has sued so many times, right? And had to pay so much money. We think we help him pay that money there. NDP.
They could still say that they're a private business. They just happen to do a lot of NDP ads or NDP programming.
But it's kind of interesting that they got ads, though, to be honest. That's interesting. Because if you want to talk about NDP station, it's a Nice Radio. If you want to talk about ULP station, it's a Star Radio. And then the other private stations like this one and Hot 97 and whatever, they are put under whatever bracket people put them in, right? But technically, you could argue that, they are not really owned by any parties or whatever. You know what I mean? But that's interesting that they got, though. That's interesting that they got, to be honest. So going back to the VAT for the some retailers, this is something that was done. This is something that was done. This is something that was done by stores with some goods. Some retailers may increase base prices beforehand. I heard people say that happened to them. That they saw something there for the price, and then they went and the price was actually the same or higher. So not for all, but some of the things that they did that. Business people did that. But the Prime Minister had said days before the VAT free that they would have personnel on the ground. Well, not him, no. In a forum that he chaired, so one of the person responsible for making sure the VAT free day went smoothly said that they would have people on the ground checking these things. But there was just too many stores involved to have people on the ground checking those things. They would need to hire plenty people to go around and check those things, because they would have to be checking the days before for the prices, and then you check the day of the VAT free day, and then you check the day after to make sure that business people didn't do that. But then if they did, what could you do? There's nothing, no law in place to punish them for doing that. You could just make them look bad. You could just speak it on air or whatever, make it public, and people say, "Oh yeah, they did that," and then a few days after the talk, dead down. So there was nothing really to punish that or track that. But some people who had the eyes on things said that happened.
But you're saying nobody could, but one Consumer Affairs Bureau of Standards, I'm not sure which one would step in that case.
Andua, because if you listen,
Well, I don't know what the penalty is, but
no penalty because there's no legislation to make it illegal in the first place.
isn't there something like deceptive pricing or I don't know. I'm sure there's something on that they could be charged under.
You see that statement you just made? That is for like another 3. That's for another 3 hours a show. You understand? Because we would only have to address VAT free day. We would have to address what's been going on for years with all these substandard products that they sell us. Then you walk at 3 days in a show and it mash up and you carry it back and they're telling you, oh, no monetary refund. You could only get back another one. I could only get something different in the store. All these things are illegal.
Are you even looking at it like that? But I am looking at my deceptive pricing for me occurs where you go and you buy in the store. Where is that? Oh, in the supermarket, you see a price labeled on a price on the particular product. And then when you go to checkout, the price is more, right? The price is incorrect. So even before leaving the store, you have that quote unquote deceptive pricing happening. Like you're hearing?
But it's gone down low. No problem. I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, but now you've gone down low for us as well.
Oh, okay. Let me come out and come back.
All right. Okay. All right, so I see that somebody is calling, but we will take the call when Lyf returns in case it's something for Lyf to address directly. All right. Yeah. You there?
We have to get, we have to do Roleza. I think you had him on already. We have to get Mr. Ledger to address that.
He's what, Bureau Standards?
Bureau Standards, yeah.
Okay.
I think
I'll make a note of it actually. Yes.
What? Yeah, go ahead.
I have the WhatsApp for you.
Okay, take
Should I take the call or read you the WhatsApp?
Take the call because yeah.
Take the call?
Yeah.
All right, let me take the call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Lyf. Good morning, Diana and Roleza and Maka.
Morning.
Listen.
Morning.
I know of someone, Diana, in St. Vincent, who uses a product, and a few days before the VAT free, she always buy it for $19.99. She went in there 2 days before the VAT free, took a picture of it. It was $19.99. VAT free, she went in there, it was $22.95. This ain't no joke. I can tell you that. A few days after VAT free, she went back and it was $19.95 again. You understand?
And my question is, she continuing to purchase at that particular place? Because one like me, if I say that's it. I'm not doing business with you again.
No, well, I mean, she uses it all the time. So when it went back to $19.95, she just continued to buy it. You understand what I'm saying? Yes, so that's what I'm telling you with this VAT free thing. Anyway, folks, I'm listening. Maka, I have a charge against you, okay?
Jeez.
We'll talk about that.
All right.
Folks, Serena, good morning. Have a good day, guys.
All right.
We on the wake up list. Every day above wrong is a good one.
Amen.
I'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye, Anita.
Yeah. So that's what I say. You see, people actually like kept tabs on it now. And then there's no accountability, there's no punishment for these people who do these things. We just go on normally like Vincentians do, right? I told you a story about the box juice and at the supermarket in Canada already.
Yeah,
we have a call on the line. Hello, good morning.
Yeah. Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
This guy who did weekend a while ago, they say that if you investigate them and it's about the price, you're going to make them look bad. But what about the people them who spending their money? How you going to make them look?
No recourse.
Because some of the stores and them have some attitude. that if you buy something from them, you go back. Instead of them buy the last one you get. They want to take something different because they don't want to give you no refund.
Give you back your money.
You don't have to do that. I mean, if they have the same thing what you bought, they could give a refund, they could exchange it. But then them is supposed to tell you that take something else for your money, and if that do something else, they're going to give you that thing that's what you want.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, we do. All right. So I guess we definitely need to have a program with the Bureau of Standards so these things can be addressed. All right.
The Ministry of Consumer Affairs. I know a friend who had bought something.
Okay. Thank you, caller.
Thank you. Yeah. I know a friend who had bought something and they were refusing to give him back his money, and he went to Consumer Affairs, and Consumer Affairs told the people that basically, you have to give back the person the money, right? A lot of people don't know their rights. It's in the States, you buy something, you don't want it again. The lies there, they don't hesitate. They don't make no noise with you. They just have to give you back your money. It's just in their laws. You know, they say buy stuff on Amazon, you say it didn't get it, it's substandard and they want to send it back. They don't argue you, they just give you the money. There's nothing such as no refund. In other countries, you have to give. People would kill you for the money, basically. But in St. Vincent, we have these Middle Eastern businessmen that tell you, no, we don't do refunds. You have to take something else. Take something else like what? I don't want the same substandard.
When you're already dissatisfied with the first thing that you get.
Yeah, I don't want the substandard product sometimes. Sometimes it might be a faulty something and they replace it. Okay, no problem. All the items can't be bad, but then there's some products that you realize are just substandard and you don't want it anymore. It mash up after 2 days. You want your money back and they tell you, oh, no refund. You have to take back one after you take something else in the store. That is really unfair. So, so basically, as I said, the VAT-free day, it wasn't here or there with me. You know what I mean? People glad, leave people in the gladness. People not care about what was illegal or what was illegal. People they care about everything there. Leave people in the happiness. You know what I mean?
All right, Lyf, here's the WhatsApp. Is Lyf saying that the opposition shouldn't challenge anything a popular government does because the challenger is an unpopular politician? Is he saying that a popular government should do anything because they are popular? Is he saying that they should be allowed to break the law and everyone should shut up because the VAT-free day is popular with the masses? Is he saying by that reasoning supporting what Donald Trump is doing because he is popular with the Republicans? That's how dictatorship start, when we ignore or downplay the law of the country.
Attempted to say yes and log off. But that's not what I'm saying. I said it should have been spoken about in a different kind of way. Not that jump out and say, oh, it's illegal, people should not do it, or whatever. Not that way. You should have said, yeah, people enjoyed it, people love it, but the way it was done because of the law, it was not done legally, so they need to go to Parliament and pass this bill to have it done legally. That's what I said. Not that they shouldn't challenge it. If you can recall, that's what I said, right? There are ways of say things, different ways to say things. And just going and say it illegal or whatever, they should have gone to Parliament and this and that. People don't care about that. You know, people.
The average person won't care as long as they're seeing the benefits. Yeah.
What I was saying is the way it was put across. You say, okay, this thing was good for the people, it benefited the people, but if your means you insist you want to talk about it, you see all the nice things or whatever, then you come in with you. But it's wasn't done legally. They need to make it legal next time. They need to go to Parliament and pass a bill or an act or whatever to make sure that they could do it legally the next time or whatever, to make sure that they could punish people who raise the prices.
Right, we have a call on the line. Hello, good morning.
That's what I'm saying.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Morning.
I just want to go back 2 steps to weigh in on the whole consumer and business place and purchasing products, or sometimes even services. My point here is to side with the business owners, because the consumers, they need to know that they have a part to play in this transaction. what part do they have to play? They have to make themselves aware of the business place policies, you know. So we just have, sometimes we have this notion that, look, I spend my money, it defected, give me it back. But are you familiar with what the policy? So in essence, the business person, they are in the right, because part of their policy would be no cash refund, that's one, or no refund within beyond certain days. So the store themselves, they have a policy, and the consumers, they need to familiarize themselves with the policies that the stores may have. Now, I was 2 years old when I really understood or found out that at the end of a receipt, like from a supermarket, you can carry in back an item, you know, with the receipt. Because normally I would, you know, just purchase and then throw away the receipt. And if the product may be defective or expired, I'm not going to carry it back. Secondly, consumers must understand you can't go in a Chinese store and buy an iPhone 15 and expect it to work as an iPhone 15 from an iPhone store. So you understand the logic I'm trying to put there. You know, you look at price, consumers should look at prices of certain things and know what they're going to get out of it. You know, you see, as like, let's put it at the money's worth. But the main point, again, I must reiterate here, is that the consumers themselves, they have to make themselves aware of the policies that these stores may have before purchasing. Yeah?
Yes.
All right, that's my point.
No, don't go yet.
Don't go yet. Policy law, right? And I could say, listen, no exchange, no refund if it mash up, I do okay, and that's my policy, but it's not law. You know, and I think stores should be held accountable and just give back people the money if they want back the money. Basically, because there's a lot in other bigger countries that you can't tell somebody they can't give back the money if your product is defective. I think the government, I think the government should pass a law making them have to give you back your money if you want back your money. If you're reasonable, you carry on the thing now and it ain't work. Because there are ways to know if you mash it up or not. You could carry on something and plug it in wrong and mash it up and you say, that's your fault. Me ain't dealing with that. But then it have things that you take home and they just don't work. Or they work for 2 days. Like you take home a fan and it work for 2 days. You walk out in a shoes and the bottom drop off after 2 days. You know, you take a penny to your right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear where you're coming from, like, but I could also understand it from the business standpoint. Not that I'm totally in agreement with something that Val is saying, but from a business standpoint, it's going to affect your cash flows, right? Because remember, at the end of the day, you've already stated that, looking at your books, you've already made such and such amount of revenue or such and such amount of profit. And if you have to be giving back persons money in their hand, it's going to, because number one, you're losing out on products and you're losing out on money, right? So that is what is one of the challenges when it comes to businesses and their cash flows. With regards to Valdo, the point that you're making, it's almost as if oftentimes when we go into stores, we don't even see what their policy is on display, right? Many of these stores, no, but I mean, Val, if I go in and out of a store, I'm constantly, like let's say I'm looking for a particular item. Is it a case where every time I enter the store, I'm going to be asking, what is your policy before purchasing? I think one of the problems I notice is that many of them do not have their policy displayed big enough for persons to be able to draw persons' attention to whatever it is, right? They might have it on a little bit of, on a piece of, letter size paper, right? Writing isn't big enough for you to even to notice it. It's only maybe if you happen to glance in that direction, you see, but a lot of them don't have it on display, at least at the front, so that you would know as soon as you enter, this is what the policy is. And it's up to you as the consumer or the purchaser to either abide by whatever the policy is or to leave the store.
I actually think the consumer, that Lyf made about the government should impose or have a law. Well, the law would be to govern all, right? Correct. But you have to take into account too, while there are different business places that are not on the same level, while they would follow the law, they would still need to align their policies to the laws that exist.
I think it's in that. I think there's a lot that says they have to give back your money, you know, but they just don't.
No, man. It has to be some sort of fine print. It just can't be across the board for every business space. So you telling me I buy chicken today and I carry it home and I carry it back. You're gonna tell me you have to give back me my money? No, there has to be some fine prints as relates to certain products and services. So it just cannot be a generic law to govern every cross section of business or organization.
All right. So between Lyf and Val, we would have a program on it to get it started. All right, because you are going to be going back and forth.
No, them supermarkets don't play. Them supermarkets don't play to give back your money, you know. Them supermarkets don't play to give back your money or refund the product. You know. Once you have a receipt, them supermarkets don't play those games. To be honest. Well, let me talk for Massey and Graves.
Okay.
Massey, if you tell them the product expire, if you tell them the meat good or whatever, they either give back the meat or they give back your money. Graves the same thing. If you tell them that the product good or whatever, they either replace the product or something. I don't know about the smaller supermarkets or whatever.
That's true. I encountered that at a Massey store.
Yeah. I encountered Massey always has some kind of spoil meat. You understand? That happened to me spoil meat by Massey at least 3 times. Come home, right away, the meat they go, carry it back, they refund them, they change the meat or they whatever. No, they don't play with that, right? Graves the same thing. By the ham thing, that the ham from the deli don't really smell too good, they give you back your money or whatever. Or they give you a refund or whatever. But there are places that just insist that, yo, no refund, you get back your money. Like, there's nothing in here I want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That you won't trust purchasing something else from them.
There are some parts places that do that, especially parts.
Well, there's some parts place that say no exchange or refund on electronic things, right? Which is they don't have no way of testing it before they give you. They don't have any way of testing it before they give it to you. You take it and put it in your vehicle. Then they're going to say, oh, it's because you put it in the vehicle, it mash up. Not the normal mechanical parts, but the electronic parts, they have a problem with that. Which is they're supposed to be able to test it before they give it to you, though. Because it's not 100% sure that everything will work.
We have a call on the line. Hello, good morning.
This will be the final call for this segment.
Yes, good morning. I was going to be silent, but I listened to you guys and I really smiled. You know, like yesterday, in my mind, I referred to you guys as NASCAR drivers.
And I didn't understand your reference.
I would explain that if I remember when I finish making my point. Lyf, I don't know about St. Vincent, but in the real world, when you make a purchase, one caller mentioned the fine print. Read the fine print. If you don't read the fine print and you're stuck with the lemon, that is your problem. Right? Read the fine print. I'm looking at about a dozen receipts here. I looked before making this call, and in every one of them, the policy is laid out in the fine print. So the onus is on you. And the NASCAR driver, you want an explanation for that?
Yeah, you could go ahead as you mentioned it in this segment.
Okay, then you guys were talking about relationships. Now, for me, I can't relate to that because.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Listen. I'm explaining. I'm a one-man woman, right? But a NASCAR driver goes around the track many, many times. So if a man or woman been wrong a few times, that's life. Deal with it. So if somebody refer to a woman as a NASCAR, that's an insult. If they refer to the man as a NASCAR driver, it's also, well, he might think it's a good thing, but it's also an insult. It's not a good thing.
Okay.
So remember, folks, read the fine print. All right?
All righty. Thank you, Joshua. All right. So Lyf,
Yeah. The VAT free day, if you like it, you like it. You know what I mean?
Most people like it.
Most people like it, leave it alone. They could go and pass the law. That would be really nice if they go and pass the law, and then there's nothing to say about that. You understand? They will decide if they will keep it up or whatever, but they can't stop it. Because people love it, and if they stop it, people like kill you off. You understand? People like force you. So people like it, they have to leave it alone. Go, pass the law, listen to what the minister said, pass the law, make it legal or whatever. It's going to be problematic for them to make it legal because if in the future they want to stop it, then they're not able to stop it because it's in law.
And so what I would also say, What I would also say to it though, because it was the first time it was happening, right? It's of course it's going to be a learning lesson, not just for the government, but also for businesses and also for consumers, right? Because you can, if you know that there is a VAT day that is coming up, you can know how to be strategic in terms of how you're going to make your purchases. So I am not necessarily going to knock it and say that it doesn't make sense, it's not beneficial, but persons as the consumers, you have to know how to be strategic to utilize that day in terms of the discounts that you're going to get. So we're gonna see.
If I half price, me, why not? I want half price.
You want big savings.
Right, I want to see it cost 90, I know it cost 20. Otherwise, that me really studying over that free thing.
But you see, Lyf, that's probably because you're in a position where those adding. You know, there are some persons. So I in the newspapers, it might be like once a month. You see that there are these. There is this table of the price of goods at different supermarkets. I can't remember exactly who puts it in the paper, which division or department.
What's the consumer affairs?
Right, but there are people who actually look at it and tick off which supermarket has the cheapest item, and they make their purchases based on that. So while it is that you might be saying, okay, well, you know, I saving $2 here or 75 cents there, it may not benefit you, but for the persons who actually do that calculation cent by cent by cent, it's going to be beneficial to them.
Mostly women do that.
Don't start to divorce the women because men run households too.
Mostly women do that. Yeah, but I know to go at the last caller. I know that a policy is not law, and 98% of the stores in the United States, Canada, and England, they just give you back your money. They don't play with that. They just give you back your money. I think it's something in their law that says they have to give you back your money if you want back your money. The thing is so it's not always beneficial to them, right? Not always beneficial to them, because what some people do, they will go and get an expensive dress today, wear it, dry clean it, leave on the tag or whatever, and take it back and get back the money. So it's not always beneficial to them. But the law is there to protect consumers, really and truly, and sometimes consumers need protection. And I think there's something in our law that says they have to give you back your money once you request it, you know. I think so, you know. I'll call consumer affairs today and find out.
Okay.
I just think that policy, that's their policy. And you remember now, if they give me a receipt that saying that's your policy, you know, I sign that receipt. So
But you walk out the store with it, which is probably what would make it binding.
Yeah, well, you know, boycott. Listen, if a store do that, boycott that store.
If they don't give you back your money?
Yeah, boycott it. Don't go back there.
I think so. I think most times persons would just go and get an exchange on whatever item.
Yeah,
they put something to the value of.
So if I come in there to buy an umbrella and you sell me one umbrella and it's not good at mash up, and you don't have any more umbrellas because that's your last one, you tell me I can't get my money to go somewhere and buy another umbrella? That ain't make no sense.
No, you walk with a bowl, you walk with a plate, you walk with something.
I don't want a dustpan. I don't want the pants are shut. I want the umbrella. I don't have any more. That's your last one. No good. Give me back my money so I could go somewhere else. I know that there are instances when those things cause issues in stores and scuffles and fights and all kind of thing, you know. You know what I mean? So I'll find out from consumer affairs if what's the law in relation to that. And with that, I will want to take my leave.
All right, Lyf. So it was a good one this morning, and thank you for joining us. And of course, we look forward to hearing from you.
All right, take care. Bye.
Again tomorrow morning. Lyf gone? Our Activated Mornings program here on WEFM, and we'll be back with another segment. Ooh. Maybe the next talk segment at 9:20. All right.
3, 2, 1. WEFM is SVG.
Are you tired of